Rock.
Welcome to Wise Beyond Bitcoin, where you come for the crypto neo news, education, opportunities. My name is Lucas.
My name is Ryan.
And we have another follow-up on the infamous Luna debacle, Luna Terra ecosystem chain. Of course, we have been covering the IBC ecosystem and Luna Terra for quite some time, and even mentioned and talked about, have a video explaining the possibility of the death spiral exploit for UST and Anchor before it happened. Of course, not knowing how imminent it was going to be, but yes, we're going to follow up and tell you what does it mean now with Luna Terra after the exploit. We also did a video talking about some other exploits that have been happening with DeFi applications on the Luna Terra ecosystem and just as a risk in crypto in general. So with all these risks, with all these exploits, what's going to happen with Luna 2.0? Do you think that it will go north and succeed, or do you think it will continue to go south and just go like the way of many things in the ICO days and will just die out? Whatever you think, know that it's just our opinions, and none of this is legal advice, financial advice, commercial advice. It's just entertainment, education, information. It's our research. We got playlists of research. So if you're new to crypto, if you've been around, we've got some news and information for you. We've got tutorials to walk you through DeFi and crypto, how to download, how to start from the very beginning, download a Web 3.0 wallet, the basics of sending and receiving and staking and choosing stakers, proof of stake, proof of work. We talk about NFTs and innovations all over blockchain and crypto, like NFTs with privacy and the secret network. So if you like that kind of stuff and you'd like to support us, you can hit the thumbs up, subscribe, notification bell. And if you're one of those whales who just loves to help the desk lamps stay lit and the gray paint stay gray, we've got those whale addresses below where you can send a little krill or plankton. And we also love to talk about what's going on outside of blockchain and crypto, because it's just an emerging technology in the midst. It's a little seed in this huge, beautiful ecosystem, this fertile ground of markets and economics outside of blockchain that it's just now connecting to. We got some macro outlooks to share as well.
That's right. Yeah, we're going to make that video here shortly. But right now, we're going to look at Luna 2.0.
Let's do that.
See what's going on. Terra 2.0, rather.
Terra 2.0. Now, this isn't the first time a blockchain has suffered a major catastrophe, has had to figure out a way to solve that catastrophe and to move on and survive. And I say that only because if you're new to crypto or blockchain or aren't familiar with this, Ethereum, there is a blockchain called Ethereum Classic, and Ethereum had an exploit in its early days, many moons ago. And in order to fix or prevent it, or to prevent that bad actor from being able to walk away with all the funds, a decision was made to just start a whole new chain. And that's where Ethereum was born. So the idea that an exploit or a problem on a blockchain will kill it is not necessarily so. We can find often on a smart contract platform, like what Terra is, that if there's a strong enough community and there's more development to be had and people band together and continue to add value, then it can thrive and continue to grow. So that's kind of what we're here to talk about. This is Terra 2.0. It's their fork. It's their new launch. So the original Luna chain is going to exist as Luna Classic. And then the new Terra chain will exist, where they hope to continue to add dApps and development and attract people to this ecosystem. So that's the premise. Do Kwon, the founder, and you had a great point before the video, and I think this is something to be said. If Terra 2.0 is to succeed, if it is to be a viable blockchain in the future, do you think Do Kwon should be associated with it, or do you think that he should extricate himself completely from the Terra Foundation, Terra Labs Foundation, and Terra Foundation Labs, TFL?
Yeah, I feel like I feel like that might be the best path forward. You know, that's my take, but we'll see. Others might have other opinions, but you know, I think there's been enough that's kind of followed that individual, and there's been enough questions around, you know, his decision making, and you know, this is not the first time that he's been in charge of a algorithmically backed stablecoin project which blew up like this. There's, you know, it's just, so there's open questions about his, not necessarily purely about his honesty, but there's also about his competence. And you could see, you could make, you know, you don't have to go and become a conspiratorial about it. It's just a question of, is this the person you want in charge? And, you know, for my money, I would say no, but we'll see how the community responds.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would agree. I think that considering he was such an outspoken proponent of UST, and he was known for being quite aggressive and not humble at looking at other people talk about some of these problems and these flaws before it hurt and cost a lot of people money. I think that maybe it would be best for him to step down and allow other people to step up and take his role, or be more decentralized in that state. But
yes,
but that being said, and for some reason, if you know, drop a comment below and let us know. I do feel that he has stepped away, is stepping away, or that his role is not almost
minimizing.
Is to minimize
right.
This new chain.
Yeah.
We'll find out. But I agree with you. I think that for the survival and the health of the chain, it's almost imperative that he step away. We do have an article that actually shows you how this new airdrop will work. And let me just go right to that. If you were a member of the Luna ecosystem before the issues, the attack, here's the airdrop. Here's the details. Existing Luna holders were allocated Luna 2.0 via an airdrop at the new Terra chain's launch. This happened in the first block of the new chain on the Phoenix 1 mainnet. Phoenix 1 mainnet, because the idea is that it's rising from the ashes. It's got a 1 billion supply of Luna tokens, 35% airdropped, dispersed to the holders pre-attack, the Luna holders, 10% to the Luna holders post-attack, 10% to pre-attack UST holders, and 15% to post-attack UST holders, and then 30% to the community pool, 10% for developers controlled by Luna stakers. And the idea is this to be able to fund future projects and development so that this new chain can thrive, survive, and thrive. And that's really, I guess, the point of this video is to, well, share the info if you weren't aware that Luna did survive. It still does exist. So there could be, look for news, education, opportunities. Often you'll find the opportunities are not at the top of a project when it's getting all the buzz and all the hype and it's at its highest price. If this is to survive, and if the Luna ecosystem is to be around 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now, then maybe shortly after the collapse, the exploit would be around the time to start looking at picking up some great deals. So
right. That's right. The old Warren Buffett strategy, right? You run in with calm hands. What do they call it? Diamond hands. Whenever, you know, everybody's panicking and selling. And that's how you build your bags, right?
And I would say we'll continue to talk about this. We do feel that blockchain, crypto, the markets in general are poised for bearish, for sideways, downward price action, if you will. So this is not at all trading but we're all about education and participation. And that's really our involvement in blockchain and crypto, and being a part of these grand failures and learning from them, and being a part of these grand successes and learning from them as well. So this could be over throughout this bear market, throughout this time, if we see developers continue to be attracted to the Luna Terra ecosystem and more applications being built, you're looking at possibly one of a really great opportunity in blockchain and crypto to be able to pick up something right after a collapse and a bottom out. So
right.
That being said, definitely not financial advice, and do your own research and follow this and take
that would be a high risk strategy, right? Considering just, you know, what just happened and where we're at in terms of just the market cycle itself. That, but it's just to say that sometimes those high risk contrarian plays are the ones that really pay off. So it really depends on your personal, you know, belief and analysis of what's to come, specifically for DeFi in general, but also specifically for this ecosystem. And if you're,
oh, you froze up a little bit. I think you froze up a little bit if you pop back in. But to go off what you were saying, the reality is that there's still potential for growth in the Luna Terra ecosystem. You take away UST, you take away Anchor, you take away some of the exploits that have been patched but discovered on Mirror, and you will find power went out. Just got the news. So we'll wrap this up pretty soon. But we covered most of it. The idea is, do you think that Luna Terra will survive, or do you think it will go away? I feel that, well, I don't know the answer. I do think that in the world of blockchain and crypto, it has a lot of support. There's a strong community. There's a lot of development outside of those ecosystems that will still, that add value and will attract more development. So I do feel that this could be a great opportunity over the next year or two. I think Ryan might be popping on soon. We had a power outage issue, so let's be patient and wait for him to come back on before we wrap this up. Luna 2.0, Luna Classic, where do you stand? What do you think? Will Luna 2.0 be a thing, or will it go away because of these problems? Something else to think about. How many people are even in blockchain and crypto right now? Very, very few. Very few people know about Bitcoin or Ethereum, much less IBC, Cosmos, Luna Terra ecosystem. Many people a long time ago thought Bitcoin or Ethereum, that these were all black market nefarious products, and had no idea. Oh, welcome back, brother. I was just saying how, if you go back and you look in time, many people were saying that Bitcoin, you know, was black market money, and crypto in general was something that was not to be looked at and touched. Now people talk about Bitcoin as being a reserve currency and being one of the most stable and institutional sought after assets at the moment. It's spoken of with high regard. And the idea is that it doesn't matter what people thought of Bitcoin a few years ago. What matters is what is Bitcoin understood at today. It really just got, like, bad press is better than no press. It really just got the name Bitcoin out there, so that familiarity.
That's true.
And I think that in this bear market, where a lot of applications are going to slow down in this wintering, you're still going to have Luna Terra. Luna Terra has made news, has been talked about on mainstream television stations, even from politicians talking about needing for regulation. And from back in the 2017, 18 days of Tether, or even now Ripple, many people feel that something being able to survive regulation makes it even stronger for investment afterwards, because at least it's been looked at, it's been understood, and it's been given a stamp of approval. So we could find that the Luna Terra ecosystem, because of these exploits and these issues, that has had attention drawn to it to see what riffraff needs to be cleaned up and taken out. We could find that because of this, that in the long run, it makes it one of the more sought after, vetted chains that has a more familiarity, because the name's gotten around.
Right.
I don't think enough people know about DeFi or IBC or Luna for this issue to match, just like Mt. Gox and has not stained Magic the Gathering or exchanges or Bitcoin.
Even Bitcoin.
Right. For that matter. So
that's true.
Up in the air to see how big of a deal this was for the Luna ecosystem, but this was definitely a big deal for blockchain, for DeFi, for regulation, and not necessarily. We did a video on this already. Also, I don't think that it's because the amount of money that was involved. I mean, arguably, someone could say that it was, but I think that when you look at the amount of UST in that whole attack, it was not significant to break DeFi or break crypto or break Ethereum or break Cosmos. It was just enough to draw a lot of attention outside of crypto to how quickly money can disappear and can seem to be done in nefarious, malicious.
You see, there's a bit of a flight to quality happening inside of crypto right now. I think you're seeing people moving away from Fantom and Avalanche, and certainly even Cosmos and Secret and Juno and the IBC. There's all these DeFi plays seem to be falling, and the money seems to be rushing into, well, Cardano for sure, but also Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so I see like a bit of a rotation happening inside the space. And I do believe that Terra and its epic collapse kind of pushed that along. I think it would have happened regardless, because anytime in a bear market there tends to be this altcoin cycle out of the risk and into the safer plays. So I kind of think it was the situation was poised to have this happen anyway, but it really kind of reinforced that and drove that narrative home. And so I could see DeFi taking a time out, at least until the next major bull market starts, whenever that is, and when that next run up happens, which DeFi plays will be the one, who knows, but it could be projects that we're not even talking about right now.
And what does this do for blue chip DeFi projects? Like I'm looking at Aave right here. You look at some of these collateral lending, locking up protocols that have existed that continue to thrive and grow, and partly because they're not synthetic derivative algorithmic platforms.
Right.
But the idea is that it's important to be able to sift through the projects that are low risk and sift through those projects that are high risk. And I think that post regulation, post this market, this wintering, this crypto winter, I agree. I think that in the next bull run, we'll see a resurgence of DeFi in a cleaner way. But right now, it needs to take a hit. Right now, the economy, the markets are deflating. Where's the money going to come from in general? And like you said, a flight to quality with all these exploits and people recognizing algorithmic stable coins can disappear overnight, and DeFi protocols, you can have your funds locked and there can be exploits where the collateral is gone and you lose your money there. There's so much risk in blockchain and crypto that it's waking people up and say, well, what in blockchain and crypto is less risk, which is why a lot of people came to it in the first place, was to get away from the high risk that was in the traditional financial markets, right? So Bitcoin, you look at Litecoin, Ethereum, Cardano, I used to say there are these older, larger projects that are Polkadot. I would say it's definitely a smart contract, blue chip platform. So people will look to more of these flight to quality in crypto, just as well as in the traditional markets. Good point. I agree. I think that we covered 2.0. Let us know what you think. Will Luna Terra 2.0 survive? Will it thrive? Will it not stay alive? It's up to you to decide.
Take a dive.
It's up to the community for sure. It's up to every one of you out there if you're a member or not, and we'll see what happens. I like seeing, I love the Cinderella stories. I like the comeback story, and I appreciate how much development's already happened on the chain. I wouldn't be surprised to see a long run scenario where this becomes one of the blockchains that people are using in the future. But then again, I would not be surprised if it doesn't happen, because that's how it is. That's the world, Stay open, do your own research, and enjoy the process, because these markets are volatile. What we're looking at right now, a year from now, rest assured, the top 10, top 20 some new projects will be there that didn't exist. And a lot of these projects that people thought would take over will cease to exist. So that's just the nature. It's so early, and you've got plenty of opportunity to take your time to learn about it. You're at a good channel. You know what to do to support and to learn. Notification bell, subscribe, thumbs up. Until the next time, have a beautiful day. Namaste, y'all.
Thank you.